It is quite early for this kind of video, but actually, I did watch all the films, new films, or new films to me at least, uh, that I intended to this year, and like this remaining 3 months or 2.5 months, I kind of want to go back to the old favorite ones, and even rewatch some of the films I started watching this year. So um, I have compiled short lists, my top three favorite and least favorite films. I'm gonna start with my favorite ones, and I'm going to name um, other films which I would possibly put on my favorite list as well. Um, but yeah, essentially, so I do have two discs for this. Unfortunately, I don't have the third one. Believe me, I'm looking for it. I actually did find one, but I felt it was quite expensive. I watched the film for the first time on streaming service, and the film is no longer there. So, um, yeah, it's not that great. So, alright, I'm going to start with my favorite ones. Let's be positive, and I feel like this list might be a bit shorter. Actually, so my number three, it is the film I wanted to watch for a while, which I've heard for a while, but I just didn't get into it until this year. And I have another film which I would like to watch of the similar scale, but it is actually one of the, like, when it comes to the aliens coming to Earth kind of films, it is one of the better ones I've seen, and it is interesting, and it is about the characters, and I do like the characters. Uh, the version I have um, is includes three versions of the film, and really, since I have seen, I don't know which version it was that I watched, but I really want to. I'm really curious about watching all three, and I don't mind watching this film, you know, 3 times more. Um, Sometimes, I'm like, oh yeah, I watched the film, I know what is going on and whatever. But no, I actually really want to go back to it. I watched this on Netflix and ordered the 4K Blu-ray later, and I'm talking about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Okay, so spoiler for the ending here, but I just have to touch upon this. It is so really refreshing how I really like the attitude of the aliens at the end, and it is such a positive ending, and it is really different. Like, there are some alien films, like, okay, so the other film which I actually really want to watch this year, which is actually based on the true story, is Fire in the Sky, and from what I've gathered, it is quite dark, and this is not dark. I'm pretty sure you could show this to your kids, and they will be fine. Um, it is possible that I have seen this film when I was very, very little, but I just don't remember it. Maybe some glimpses of it, but also it is quite similar. Like, the films back then could look a bit similar, so I am kind of intrigued by this. Aliens. It is like aliens coming in the night, especially, is one of the things I'm kind of intrigued about, and there's just something mysterious and really curious about that. And I see myself putting this film on quite a lot. Actually, I might do it today. So, and 4K transfer. Okay, it is really grainy, but I don't think it is bad. So, uh, that's that. Okay, so jumping from 4K disc to a DVD, and I actually had the exact same DVD at some point, but of this film, but I just couldn't, I just couldn't find it anywhere. I may have given it away, so I decided to just pick it up again, and I would have bought Blu-ray, and I may buy a Blu-ray version of it, but it was so cheap, so I figured whatever, I'm just picking it up in a second-hand store, and I wish I've seen this film before. It is Grand Budapest Hotel, and I would actually kind of say, in a way, it is really close to my favorite ones. I feel like with Close Encounters, it is like, yeah, it is. I can see myself feeling like, yeah, no, I just don't want to watch it. If someone told me, hey, you want to watch Grand Budapest Hotel now, any day, I would say yes. It is it is wonky film. It has this great atmosphere of, you know, completely different country. And okay, so I am from Poland, and it plays around maybe not this exactly area there, but it is similar atmosphere there that I could kind of sort of find in places in Poland, and especially like neighboring countries. So I get into this Eastern European kind of tone it drives on, and I'm sold for this film. I have to see it again. It is awesome, and I do really like the changing aspect ratios in this. So yeah, this is the film I would be have to say, like, this is probably the most rewatchable for me. However, there's one film I actually may, the most memorable film in the positive sense, although it is not as lighthearted as either of those two. And I don't have a DVD for it. I'm going to try to find it. It is hard. It is older Swedish film, and it is Lilia Forever. And if you don't know about anything about the film, I will not give away anything about it. I'm telling you, go and watch this. If you have a possibility of watching this, do that. Just prepare to be sad for some time, okay? This film really moved me. Now, as a bit of my honorable mentions, I did enjoy other films. I'm really, like, maybe I'm not blown away, but I really liked Alita Battle Angel. I didn't watch the film last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember when it came out, but I did, and it was really good. I actually went out and got a anime of it as well. Watched it, and it was possibly even better. But I enjoyed it, and I am one of those Alita Battle Angel suckers that really want a sequel. I want a trilogy. So yeah. The other one I really enjoyed, and again, there are rewatches I maybe liked more, but I don't count those. I might do a separate videos for a rewatch of this, but yeah, rewatch films I rewatched, which I really like, my favorite rewatches of 2020. This would be a long list, but the other one I really liked was actually a film that many people don't like, and I don't get why. It just worked for me really well. It was the Mortal Engines. And I remember when this film was coming out, but I just didn't go out and see it. So it was really good. I really liked it. I actually went out and got myself a book that this film is based on, and I'm actually planning on rewatching the film, but I'm planning on reading the book first, which I have not done yet. But I do have a few other books which I want to get first. The Stand or Crystal Lake Memories being my top two. Then absolutely. I don't really know. Okay, the third one, which I am really into again is uh, I don't know. I don't remember the title, and I don't want to say the Swedish title because it features a swear word. Uh, okay, so what I'm going to do? Yeah, this is this film, effing Omo. I could have just said that. And this is I was really looking for this film, um, and it is a teenage girl film about a girl discovering she's a lesbian, and sure, whatever. It is actually really well made film, which has kind of cool atmosphere, and what drives me, like why I really like this film, is nostalgia factor. I grew up when um, in late 90s and early 2000s, and you know it being for the first thing good film, but also having this older quality to it. I kind of enjoyed it, and actually it flashed me back to when I was in school. So yeah, I actually watched a review of this many times before, so I was like, yeah, I should watch it, and I really wanted this one on DVD, but I couldn't find it for the longest time, so finally got it. But yeah, I will be going into. There are other ones which I could talk about, but we're 12 minutes in and I still haven't gotten to the worst ones yet. And okay, so fortunately or unfortunately for this video, I don't have many films which I don't like. And actually, many films I watch I do enjoy, and even this third spot is something I could say good things about it. Um, yeah, I'm not going to be buying this one anytime, like ever, because I just figured this may not be a film for me. And it is Disney Plus's Stargirl. Not to be confused with the comic book show based on DC Comics. Now, my biggest problem with it is unoriginal. I have seen. It is basically why I'm not really into young adult. Um, Having said that, I still really like Harry Potter, but it's still other thing. I'm not really into young adult because those stories for me are really formulaic, and this is basically your another type of young adult wacky story. There's this boy that meets this girl that is different. There's different about it. She leaves an impact on him and disappears. I've seen this. I feel like I've seen this kind of film many times. So yeah, sure, there might be like the film itself. If you throw it out of, if you basically take it out of context, yeah, it is fine, but I just remember it rubbing me the wrong way in that sense. So, and I know this is based on the book, but we probably shouldn't just adapt every single young adult book because there are other ones out there already. There are other films which basically exist. So, yeah. Anyway, um, the second one, the second to worst one, is the only one I actually have, and it is something I could have watched on streaming service, but I didn't. And I was actually visiting a convention before pandemic broke out and picked it up. Now I could have gotten it on. I kind of wish I did get it on iTunes in 4K, because I feel like HDR with this film is the basically selling point. I'm talking about Skull Island. This film looks gorgeous. There's nothing else I could say about that. If you have a, new 4K TV and you want to try HDR on it, buy 4K version of this. You can mute it and just watch at it. It looks great. There's just nothing to it as story goes. I don't know, maybe if I got in the 4K Blu-ray instead of Blu-ray, I may have been more forgiving towards it, but as it is, nah, it bored me, and I don't want to watch it again. Yeah, I don't think it broke, but I just want to demonstrate how I don't like it. So, having said anything about these two, those two films are Godfather compared to the last one on here. And again, this last film is so fundamentally broken in my opinion, and this may get longer. That's why I shortened this too. But and I still don't believe why the hell I watched this. I wish I haven't. There's one good scene in the film. The rest is total crap. Okay, maybe the beginning of it sets up bit things, but so I'm obviously talking about the film that may be the reason for your all Netflix cancellations. Cuties. What having been said about this film before, it is a fucking pedophile nonsense. And I do realize I made a big deal about not saying fucking Omel, but I called this film a fucking pedophile nonsense. And it is. I don't care what the director wanted to, you know, present with this film. The message is gone because where she is filming private areas of the girls in the skimpy outfits when they are dancing or going up the stairs, it sends different message, right? There's so wrong about it. I can forgive boring film, I can forgive an original film, but I cannot forgive, you know, uh, basically child porn. And what boggles me the most is the fact that somebody looked at this on Netflix and said, "Yeah, let's release it." So yeah, I did talk. Many people talking about it, and I said I just don't want to talk about it. But okay, if we even were to take out the aspect of pedophilia from it, which I don't think we should, there it is not a good film. The character doesn't learn any lessons, has no consequences. She just continues innocently, and everything is fine. We don't see any characters again after the dance off. She makes a big deal in basically wanting to go and dance to the point she almost murders her classmate, but she then just runs away. No consequences. She punches a pen into the boy's hand. No consequences. Yeah, best film ever. Um, what's more? So, okay, am I the only one who kind of knows how phones work? Because it is really convenient that the iPhone, and if it's not an iPhone, it is really similar kind of phone that to the point it really looks like an iPhone. So and I don't care enough to go back and check. But am I the only one who actually knows how it works and how convenient it is that this girl that is 11 that never had a phone in her hand actually could have opened someone else's phone and use it. And if she did, okay, it is really convenient that this one person didn't have any lock, any face recognition installed on the phone, any code or anything. It is convenient that when she was taking her pictures, she remembered to, you know, close Find My iPhone, iCloud, things that should be basically on, and usually are on iPhones. And since this dude left the phone behind without even looking at it, you know, he should have expected it to be stolen. Uh, and the whole interaction when he sees her phone doesn't make sense, because how the hell does he know this is his phone? It's not like he. So hey, I've seen you taking pictures. I logged in onto my iCloud, and look, I saw you using the phone. So give it back. No, he just sees her with a phone in her hand and is like, my phone. I mean, it was, but how the hell did he know that it wasn't his phone, but just she gotten it from her parents or whatever? I mean, I know this is like strict conservative family, but maybe they decided against it. I mean, I I don't know. So yeah, I didn't cancel my Netflix subscription because there's quite a lot of things on there which I watch. However, what I do is when I like something that I watch on Netflix or HBO or Prime, and I can go and buy this and on physical media to my collection, I do that because you know, I mean, okay, it is because I see increasingly bad material on Netflix. Sure, there always were crap shows such as Shadowhunters or the new Sabrina show. I do kind of have a soft spot for Riverdale, even though the first season was the best one, and after that it's pretty much crap. Though the first episode of the season 4 was perfection. Uh, so yeah, and speaking of shows, I mean I'm not adding it here as the one of the worst, but if this was a film, I would have. Netflix's Curse is fucking crap. Why was this made? I actually wanted to purchase the book and read it, but when I started watching the show, I decided like